Is innovation a matter of inspiration and a flash of creativity? Is innovation a matter of inspiration and flash of creativity, or can a person by design be innovative and build a business career and life? Can you by design be innovative? That is the most important question which we need to answer. And to get this answer, we need to go back to World War II. When the American defense, they created this special research group. The special research group is a group which was created to answer the problems created by World War II. We all know that Air Force, the air power, was one of the most defining powers in the World War II. And the Axis forces were shooting down Allied planes like mosquitoes. And the Allied forces realized that unless they do something to stop this, they will not be able to survive the war and they will be ruined, and the Axis forces will overrun Earth. So they created a special research group with 5 people. One of them was Leonard Jimmy, the person who is credited with giving us the decision theory. The second was Frederick Mosler, the man who is credited with creating the statistics department in the Harvard University. The third is Norbert Wiener, the man who gave cybernetics to the world. The fourth was Milton Friedman, a Nobel laureate. How much more intelligent do you require a group to be? The fifth was Abraham Wald, by far the most intelligent of the lot. He was a design thinker. He was a default design thinker. At that time, design thinking was not there in vogue, but the way he used to think was what is today understood as design thinking. Now, let us understand what had happened. The problem given to them was how to stop the Axis forces from shooting down the Allied planes. Just imagine what a problem it is. One of the possible solutions was to armor the planes so that it will become bomb-proof, bulletproof. Now, where do you armor the plane? When you look at the planes which are coming back, they were shot all over the place. There was absolutely no way they could understand how to do it, because they faced 2 problems. Number one, if you armor the plane all over the places where it is shot, it will become very heavy and it will not take off at all. If you are selective in, armoring most of the places, then the plane will become slow and it will become a sitting duck for the Axis gunners. So what could be done was a very small portion of the plane could be armored, whereby if it can be prevented from being shot down, well and good, but then that does not solve the problem because the plane is being shot all over. Abraham Wald and others simply could not understand what to do. As they were thinking, Abraham Wald thought that I require fresh inspiration. So let me do one thing. Let me go and see the soldiers who have been shot, who are really the sufferers because of this. Because you see, the foot soldiers without air power to back them were getting shot all over the place. He went to the hospital. There he started sympathizing with the soldiers, visiting them. He saw the soldiers were shot in the hands, the legs, the stomach, the chest, all over the place they were shot. There were shots, bullets had grazed their heads were bandaged, all over the place they were shot. He called a doctor. He asked him, what is this? I find that people are shot all over the place. He said, yes, they are shot all over the place. They said, is there any place where they have not been shot? I don't find them, anyone here who has not been shot anywhere. That person said, yes, sir, there is one place where they have not been shot. I said, where is that? He said, they have not been shot in the forehead. He said, how do you say that? He said, because anyone who has been shot in the forehead has died on the battlefield itself. He has not come to the hospital. That was an aha moment for Abraham Wald. He rushed back to the SRG headquarters, got the other 4 members of the team, got the top brass of the military air force, came to the hospital and said, look at all these people. They all looked. They said, yes, Abraham, what are you trying to tell? He said, you look at them carefully. They looked at them carefully. And then he said, sir, do you realize that all the people who are alive and who have come back to this hospital are people who have not been shot in the forehead? Everywhere else where they have been shot, they have been injured, but they have come back. The dead one are those who have been shot in the forehead. Similarly, let us go and see where the plane has not been shot. That is the place where we have to armor it, because if the bullet hits there, the plane goes down and it doesn't come back. My dear friends, we all know from history that World War II was won by the Allied forces. But what many of us don't know is the margin of victory was only 5%. 5% of the planes of Allied forces went down less than those of the Axis forces. And that 5% went down less because of armoring the engine area alone, where the bullets were not there. You can say very conveniently that Abraham Wald won the war for the Allied forces without ever firing a bullet or stepping onto the battlefield. That is design thinking. Now let's see an official definition of design thinking. Design thinking refers to the cognitive, strategic, and practical processes by which design concepts are developed for the innovation of products and services within businesses and social contexts. I definitely look stupid trying to read it out to you, don't I? Very frankly speaking, I also did not understand a single word of what is written here. But this is what is written in the books. Now you know why design thinking is not understood by people. After reading this, I decided that I will understand design thinking in my own way. Let me explain to you what my way of understanding design thinking was. We all know this is a pot. Now, this pot of clay being worked on by the expertise of the potter, right? A pot is the result of clay being worked on by the expertise of a potter. The clay is the substantial cost. The clay is what is converted into a pot. The complementary cost is the expertise of the potter. And when the substantial cost clay is acted upon by the complementary cost, the expertise of the potter, the effect is the pot. Please mute. Creativity is the substantial cost. Creativity is the clay. It is the raw material on which design thinking, the complementary cost, will work. When design thinking works on creativity, the result is innovation. This is what I understood. That means design thinking, more than thinking, is doing. More than thinking, design, more than thinking, design thinking is doing. Now you will ask me, is it possible for you to learn design thinking? Is it possible? You see, only 5% of the people in the world are creative. Is it possible for you to learn creativity? Well, creativity is a default setting. We have seen every child is creative. That means somewhere in the journey of our growing up into adults, our creativity has got suppressed. We have to reclaim it. We have to reclaim it and develop it. Once we reclaim and develop our creativity, we will become creative. Then once we understand the process called design thinking, we will be able to work on that creativity with the design thinking. And once we are able to apply our design thinking to our creativity, the outcome will be innovation in every aspect of our life, be it in our relationship with people, be it in our handling the everyday problems, be it in our office, or be it in creating a product for our customer, or be it in creating a product which is not yet seen the light of the day. Each and every one of these will become possible once we reclaim our creativity, understand the design thinking process, and bring both of them together. The question is, can we do it? Recognize this person? Unmute and tell me, please. Please unmute and tell me. Who is it?
Dr. Saravanan.
Huh?
Dr. Saravanan.
Yes, who is this person?
Christopher Reeve.
Absolutely. This is Christopher Reeve, the man who made Superman famous, who made billions by acting in 4 Superman movies. This person was very passionate about riding. He had an accident in one of his practice and became totally paralyzed, neck down. But he did not give up. Doctors told him that he will never recover. He is paralyzed for life, and that is the end of his life. But Christopher Reeve was made of much tougher stuff than what the doctors thought. He spent his entire money in ensuring that he recovered, and recover he did. Maybe not fully, but sufficiently to be able to open the Christopher Reeve Paralysis Foundation and to convince the world that paralysis can be overcome. He proved that paralysis can be overcome, and here is a news item from the Daily News where it says, paralyzed Superman star told news of plans to launch new film carrier. He came to the level of launching a new film carrier. That is the level to which he recovered. He convinced the US government that people suffering from paralysis need not suffer. If they are given the assistance required, they can recover and come to near normal life. And here you see Barack Obama signing a legislation called the American Paralysis Act. Listen to it.
The legislation I'm signing today also makes progress on another front for which many Americans have long waited. And the Christopher and Dana Reeves Paralysis Act is the first piece of comprehensive legislation specifically aimed at addressing the challenges faced by Americans living with paralysis. The legislation I'm signing today also makes the legislation I'm signing.
The question that we now need to ask is, do you really want to build your life? Very simple question. Do you really want to build your life? Is your family and personal growth your priority? If your answer is yes, then join the masterclass.